MeTV 24 Meridian proudly presents your favorite way to start the day. Welcome to Mornings with Scotty Ray and Candace.
And good morning. We're off to the races this morning into the 70s, and it's not going to get past 84. Why? There's thunderstorms everywhere. Possible tornadoes. Could it get worse? Crime is on the rise. Thought I'd give it to you all at one time.
I don't like the possible tornado. I do like the temperatures being a little bit lower, but yeah.
We've got a little bit out there, and we'll be watching this throughout the day. And again, the severe weather is a level 1. It's not much, but they did, as I mentioned this morning, mention there is the possibility of tornadic activity. Normally, that's not even brought up with a level 1 storm. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. It means we just need to be prepared for the worst.
We had some wicked wind yesterday at our house.
Oh, yeah.
It scared me a little bit. We were standing there, me and my son were standing there. I'd been doing some stuff in the house, and all of a sudden the wind just gusted through, and I mean, it was just like
I showed this morning. Here's some pictures of that wind in the sky yesterday. This goes to Young Farms up on Highway 19. Gorgeous view there.
That is pretty.
Let's see. I got some other pictures also that happened. This is Key Field yesterday afternoon. Jeremy Pogue sent this one in.
Okay.
Look at that.
That is neat.
Now, Collinsville, I got tons of the rain of pictures sent in to us of it blowing sideways like you're talking about.
It was scary because I was on the phone with my mother when it started, and I was like, wait a minute, because the trees were going in a circular motion. You know, It was like they were twisting around.
Freeman Tractor called me and said, where's Candace and her chainsaw? There's a tree down the road, and people can't get to us to cut by a lawnmower. And I said, I'm sending her.
Yeah.
I ended up having to get Mr. Mayette to come out and handle that.
Goodness.
But we did have 2 trees blow down, 19 and one there on 494.
Yeah, I believe it. You know, usually we'll turn our trampoline over, our smaller little one that's out there in the yard, and I had not done that, and I thought, it's fixing to blow into the house, or it's fixing to... Yeah.
And also to show you that crime is not really all that bad, and it's not as bad as you think it is. Former Man of the Year, Chris Reed, sent in a picture yesterday while he was being chased by 8 people trying to take his wallet. Look at how steady he was with that camera.
I thought you were going to say being chased by the geese out there, because those are some mean geese.
Yes, they are.
I've
heard about that.
Yes, they are.
But anyway, a big thank you to Chris for sending in his pictures. I was joking about being chased in case anybody.
That's pretty, though. That's a pretty picture out there.
Bonita Lakes, we do have a lot. Meridian has so much to offer, and we want to keep it that way. It's why we stay on top of what goes on in our area, so you know what it is. And the citizens are going to have to just kind of draw a line and say, nope, not anymore. You're not doing this in my town.
Yeah.
So, what did everybody think of the press conference yesterday?
Well, I was just fixing to say, I kind of got. It was kind of muffled sounding at times, but
and let me point that out. Let me go that I carried it live, and I learned a valuable lesson out of that room. It's big.
Yeah.
Now, if you were there, you could hear Jimmy, but with the phone recording, I have to have other equipment to go with it to get it better, and we will have that fixed from now on when we do those. But I didn't know that till I got there.
Well, these old buildings that have the real tall ceilings, though,
like 80 feet.
Echoes all in there. It's hard to understand.
We could have fit a whole lot more people in there, though.
But for what I was going to say, I thought I understood that someone said that the citizens were going to have to help out here. I mean, I think the citizens are helping as far as...
he did make the comment they're going to have to call more. Well, they are calling.
Yeah, they're calling. But, I mean, there's only so much that...
Now, and I've also, and I had to be honest on everything that I do. I've had people text me and goes, look, I just saw such and such. I'm not calling the police anymore. I've called them 200 times. I don't want everybody to give up on that because they do need to know where things are. And I'm not running the police department down. Please don't take that wrong. We have a lot of good people in the Meridian Police Department work hard every day. We get to leadership at higher levels of our elected officials is where we find fault. Jimmy is the mayor, so we have to look at him. And let me say this, and I talked with someone this morning about this. Jimmy is one of the nicest people that you will ever bump into. I think he's a nice person. We got problems in Meridian. I disagree with Jimmy, and because I asked that question, where is everybody? Jimmy walks into the room, and it's just Jimmy, and it's about crime. When you do a press conference about crime, you need your entire elected officials and everybody that says, we're through with you people. We're not going to put up with crime. And when I say you people, I mean criminals. Let me clarify that. But there was no police. There was only one, Miss Walker, who is on the city council, and I thank her for coming. But we needed more.
Yeah, I think that the full city council should have been there. I think the police chief should have been there, along with the mayor. I just think that it should have been a whole panel of people that were ready to answer each and every question that was asked to the fullest extent.
And I give Jimmy credit of trying to answer it.
Right,
he did.
yeah.
He didn't back away from anything or shy away.
And I know he said it's going to take time, and I do. I don't think it's something that's going to be solved overnight. I don't think anybody expects that. But time is not really on our side.
No, because Jimmy did say we have a young police department. It would take about a year and a half for them to get to where they need to be. And my question was, and I honestly don't remember how he answered it, of what are we going to do in the meantime?
Right, yeah.
And
I don't think there was a straight.
There wasn't. There at the end, the last question that I asked Jimmy was, what do you say to the average citizen who drives in from Philadelphia, who drives in from Quitman or Butler, Alabama to shop and eat here? How do we guarantee their safety? He says, I'm not going to say a thing. I'm going to show them. Well, let's hope you can. There's a lot against us as we look at this. There's just not as many people in the police force industry anymore. Now, is that Meridian's fault? You have to look at what has happened in America as we bring in yesterday. 19 children are dead and 2 adults are dead. People don't care anymore. Their criminals get away with so much. And you brought up a valid point before we went on air to me of your thoughts of why that happened yesterday.
Yeah, well, everybody's going to want to blame guns.
Right. And
guns are not picked up on their own and kill people. Evil people kill people. Things are influencing these children nowadays. They're influencing adults because there's tons of adults who play video games. Video games, a lot of them. I'm not saying all of them. My son plays video games. But these violent video games where they're shooting them up, and I mean, they're shooting cops on there. They're shooting, there's military video games. It makes them think that they can do that, and there's no, is it the word repercussions for what they've done? Yeah, and if you've ever watched a video game thing, like something like that, I mean, if you've ever seen anything like that, whether you've come across it on a media platform or whatever, it looks like there's a camera on the gun, and you can see everybody they shoot. Well, what happened the last shooter not too long ago? A young guy had a video camera on the gun, and it was videoing shooting all these people. It's just, it's a lot of influences out there. Then we talk about children. I can't believe he went into an element. We don't even have a regard for life for the unborn. We don't have, in our schools, I'm going to call it this, and I know we're on the air, but crap. A bunch of crap has been introduced into our schools for our kids. It is. I'll make a list for you later of words not to say. Well, I'm sorry. It is. Call it what it is. It's just not. It's not a good day and time for our children right now. They don't have the support. We have an administration up in Washington that is totally for this kind of junk. They're for abortion. They're for, people being, I haven't heard anybody say anything against the protesting in the streets with violence. I'm not talking about peaceful protests. How many months went by where towns were being burned down? We can't have that. It's just, what do you expect when you introduce this kind of stuff? And God is not present in any of that. Here in Meridian, as we look at this, in the past, yes, crime has happened in certain areas of town, and it never got out of that. Right. But you watch this for the last year, it's been slowly spreading. And it gets closer and closer. And I keep hearing, nothing has happened in the city. Don't worry about it. It's getting close. Highway 19 now is now a shoot-'em-up town. By broad daylight, people get shot at down there. People trying to eat. You got to make it stop, and we need someone to lead this charge to stop it. And I said this to someone at 5 o'clock this morning when they called me. You remember the song? I forget who sang it. It was from that 1984 movie with Kevin Bacon. We need a hero. We need a knight in shining armor. We need somebody that steps up like. And somebody made fun of me this week that told me that I thought I was Walker, Texas Ranger. Well, really? Meridian needs Walker to step up. I'm behind him all the way. I can just see him there standing on Meridian. Yeah. Help us. Help us.
But we would love to hear your comments. What do you think Meridian needs to do? What is the next step? Put it in the comments. We'd love to hear from you.
Right. I guess with the law enforcement that we have, I know they're shorthanded in a lot of instances. They're shorthanded. I think there is a lot of good police officers, a lot of good, people in the sheriff's department along with the police department.
I talk to them every day.
Right. And I know they're trying. They are trying. I don't know. I think it needs to come from the main leadership, though. Like yesterday, the mayor's statements and stuff. These people are not afraid. They're not afraid of getting arrested. They're not afraid of,
going to jail.
Any kind of repercussions. I don't know.
And I did not know this. And I brought this up this morning. I had no idea that Meridian had a enforceable standing curfew in Meridian for teenagers. Had no clue.
Well, I knew that years ago there was something instated.
Right.
But I didn't know it was still, enforced.
So, and he said they're going to start enforcing it. Let's hope so. But it's going to take manpower to do that, too.
Yeah. But for teenagers, it's a curfew. It's not like a curfew.
I'm going to give you from 8th Street over past the hospitals, and anybody that's out, you just pop them there with your little ruler and say, what are you doing out?
Yeah.
But, maybe we need more neighborhood watches. I don't have the answer. I am not the leader of our city. I'm not in charge of that. I just tell you what happens, and we would love ideas.
Yeah.
Maybe the mayor's watching this morning. Again, we just need to fix this problem in Meridian. We hope so.
Yeah.
A lot of people, and show up at your next meetings. Voice your opinion of this, because that room could have held a lot more people.
Yeah, when the camera kind of went to the room where everybody that was asking questions, it was kind of, I didn't believe that there was just a few people there.
We could have had some more there, and hopefully next time it will. Here's a guy in the state of Mississippi that is not taking any slack. He doesn't care what you say about him. He's going to do his job. Let me show you his picture. What's his name? Oh, it's Shad White. Shad has made another arrest. Yes, he's got handcuffs, and he's got people that walk around and figure out you stole from the citizens. Here's two more that have taken. This goes back to Jackson, Mississippi, Hinds County, the Election Commission. I think they had originally had 3, so this moves it up to about 5 people now that have been arrested who've taken from the taxpayer. We don't need that either. But Shad, y'all watch out. That boy's headed toward the governor mansion in some shape, form, or way. He may just go up there and sit around a little bit, but he's headed there.
Yeah.
I think he will run before it's all said and done. We need somebody strong in the governor's mansion.
Right.
I'm not saying I don't like somebody over there or anything.
All this crime too. I don't know the ins and outs of what the police officers or the sheriff's department. I don't know. I know that there's certain rules they have to go by.
Yeah, the law.
The law. I'm not talking about that.
I didn't know what you meant.
Well, if they arrest somebody, they can only keep them for so long or something. I don't know how that goes.
That's the judicial side. And what we're going to do is I'm going to ask the DA to come in. I'm going to ask a judge to come in.
That'd be good.
And we're going to hear from them because their hands are also tied, because you know what? All of this goes to the state level, and it leads right up to the governor. All of those that we elect to go over to Jackson, and then that makes policies for the state and also toward Washington. So we're going to climb this chain and bring in more people.
I will say this, though, and I'm probably going to make a lot of people mad, but this is the way I feel about it. I'm proud of Meridian as far as I think that it's been a good place for arts and entertainment and all that. I think that's a great thing. But I think that we, all this money that's being put into building all these new things, I know that probably...
But you're looking at it all wrong, Candace.
Well, I might be, but I think that, I had heard there's a skate park going to be built. There was a splash pad or something going to be built at one time. I think, there needs to be more money poured into law enforcement.
There may be, but it comes from different funds. When you talk about the arts and entertainment, you have to have that for people who come to Meridian.
I'm not saying that. No.
But I'm saying that's how money comes to pay the cops. Okay. You've got to have businesses bringing in revenue with tax dollars to be able to pay the cops.
But at some point, I believe you need to start down here and build your way up, and nobody wants to come in to go to the arts and entertainment when they're afraid for their life.
I understand what you're saying, but you can't take money and not build this to do that.
Yeah, I understand. But there again, I don't know the ins and outs of stuff like that. But I just know that, a lot of people think like I do, though.
They want to be
like,
safe.
They're just, well, they don't know the ins and outs of stuff like that. They just know, look, I'm trying to live a normal life, raise my family, go to work every day, and I want to know if you're shorthanded in the police department, or if you're shorthanded on funds to be able to hire more people, why is that you're not getting more money? If it's being, because the other day, Sheriff Solly said that it was a local level that they got their funding from, right?
Right,
Not
but
a state level.
the less money, you got to remember this, the less money that comes into our county, the less they can pay employees, and you have to do away with employees when you don't have people coming to your town. We got a mess.
It is a mess. It really is.
All right.
So,
Candace's
anyway,
thoughts there.
I'm sorry. I'm not putting down the arts and entertainment stuff. I think it's a great thing, but it just seems like every time you turn around, we're putting more money into cosmetic stuff where so other things need to be fixed. But anyway, thoughts for the day. Yeah.
Okay, I'll leave that alone. She said her piece.
I did. I'm done.
Moral of the way, we got some special guests coming up. This is a very important weekend. As we respect our police officers, respect also our armed military, folks who have given all, and as Billy Ray put it, some gave all. We're going to talk to that. Van Mack and Danny Smith are coming up. They're going to tell us all about what Meridian has to offer, and we want you to be a part of this. So many times I've gone to things and events like this, and it's just a handful. We don't need that anymore. We need to show our pride and support for those who gave you the freedoms that you've got. We're going to talk to them next in just a moment. The Precast Group, offering you the best selection when it comes to a storm shelter. Located on 145 South in Meridian, where they offer above-ground shelters that can be installed in your home as you're built-in, are conveniently located right outside your home if it's already built. They also offer storm shelters that can be installed in a slight bank or on flat ground. Protect your family today with a very affordable storm shelter from the Precast Group. Highway 145 South, 601-482-0003. The Precast Group. As the days get hotter, Sanders Gas reminds you to get your air conditioner tuned up. Sanders Gas can repair or replace your whole unit, whichever you need. Talk to Sanders about a tankless water heater now and never run out of hot water. Find out how easy and affordable it is to cook on gas stoves. And those backyard barbecues are coming. Don't run out of gas. Get yours refilled today. Sanders Gas, since 1946, 611 26th Avenue South, 601-693-4054.
Every day, Jackson drivers go to work, run errands, maybe enjoy an evening out. Most of the time, they return home safely. Unfortunately, that's not always the case.
If you or a loved one has been in a serious car accident, call attorney Richard Schwartz and Associates.
We'll come to you, work to get you the right medical care, and fight to get you every dollar you deserve. One call, that's all.
Call attorney Richard Schwartz and Associates today.
And welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace as we travel along on this, Wednesday morning. And I have a special message for Van Mack as he joins us along with Danny. How are y'all doing?
All right,
doing good.
Debbie sent me a message this morning at 5:10 that says, remind Van Mack that she still has her Donny Osmond tape that you made her back in 91.
Oh, goodness.
Welcome. Van Mack, of course, is the entire reason that I ever got into this business. When I was 17 years old, I went to go meet Van, and I said, I'd sure like to be in radio. And he said, you're awful. Go home. And so I did. And what was it? Somebody got sick, and you were really in a bad shape, needed help, and asked me to come back, and, well, the rest is history. That's been many a year ago.
Yeah, obviously he was wrong, right?
Yes, he was. But we had a lot of great time. And Van taught me so much through the years about radio, what to do and how to do it. And Van, I just want to say thank you there.
Well, it's nice to be with you and Candace here. And Danny and I were hoping we'd come out and have a kind of a pleasant chat. Not a lot going on, but you're always stirring something up, Scotty Ray.
It's me.
That's right. Controversy follows you, lad.
It does, no matter what I do or where I go. Now, we do, as we've talked about, the military is such a part of it, and there's so many men and women who have given their life to our country to protect us. Tell us about what we've got going on. Tell us more.
Well, anytime you have a Monday morning event in a holiday weekend, you're going to have a lot of distractions, but it would probably be the best hour that you could spend over the Memorial Day period is to come down and show your patriotism and pay respect to the ones who have given their life in the line of duty. It'll be a rather short program, but it is something that's an annual event here in Meridian. Over the last year, Danny has assumed chairmanship of the committee, and the committee has a lot of good men and women that put this program together, and it's all ready, set to go Monday morning at 10 o'clock at the Lauderdale County Courthouse. Sadly, the pandemic, remember, Scotty Ray knocked out the program there in 2020.
That's right.
Sure did.
And due to the construction there at the courthouse in 2021, we had to move to the Doughboy, but we're back at home at the courthouse for 2022.
And it looks great. The new renovations to the front of the courthouse is going to be great. Now, what are we going to see when we come? We get there at 10, correct?
Right.
What
Yes, sir.
will take place? What will we see?
When you get there, Robbie Atkinson will be our MC, I guess is mm putting it. There'll be a welcome. Father Augustine from the St. Patrick's will give an invocation. Excuse me. Algie Davis will give the Pledge of Allegiance.
He's good at that, too.
Yes,
I've seen him do it once or twice.
He's been at it a long time. Now, there's a fellow that's dedicated to his craft.
Yes, he
That
is.
is a fact. And Pat Kirby will be doing the national anthem. And after that, there'll be an introduction of dignitaries. Robbie will acknowledge the different veterans organizations that are in Meridian, which is several, which is great. Then Ken Storms and I will read the names of everyone that's on that wall.
That's important.
And starting from World War I up to Gulf War. Then Robbie will introduce our guest speaker, Kerry Gilmer, a war veteran and hero, although he doesn't like to say it, but the man is. And then after that, each of the auxiliaries from the different organizations will lay wreaths at the wall. The Meridian Police Department Honor Guard will give a 21-gun salute.
That was my next question.
Yes, sir. So bring some earplugs. No. Jessica Shirley will do taps, and we'll end with Father Augustine giving a benediction before we leave.
And so this should conclude 10:30-ish, somewhere right around in there?
Yes, sir. Yep. It depends on how fast Ken and I read, probably.
You know, this is a little bit of history on the reading of the fallen names there. That is one of the key components of this
Absolutely.
service.
Yeah.
And many years ago, I think it was some gentlemen from the Fleet Reserve
Yep.
offered to do the tolling of the bell as the names were read. Mm-hmm. That turned into a very long service.
I think it's 146 names or something.
So
like
it was
that. One for each name. Yes,
Wow.
Sir.
Yeah. But we've been fortunate, Scotty Ray, over the last 10 years. You know, the death toll for his folks from our state that have lost their lives in battle has been dramatically reduced.
Yep.
Previous 10 years, of course, with Iraq, we saw a lot of lives lost. But I think the last death here in Mississippi was the soldier from Shabuta who passed away in 2013 in a helicopter crash in Afghanistan. So
What was it?
that would be Terry Gordon.
Yeah, there you go.
So we have plenty of skirmishes that have taken a lot of lives through the years. And like Danny said, we pick up there in World War I and bring it right on up to present day.
Is this number right? Is it 146 names on the wall?
Well, actually, Danny and Ken are going to recall out 294 names.
Yeah. Yep, 294. That's right.
There's
Sorry about that.
12 from World War I, altogether 216 from World War II, 23 from Korea,
These
and
names.
post 9/11, which would include the Gulf Wars, Iraq and Afghanistan. There's been 7 from the local area.
And you have to back me up on this. You grew up in this time, and both of y'all did. It was a time to where, now it's a little bit different. People join the military and go over. There was a time that people were drafted that were just like you and I sitting at home trying to make a living, and they got this little letter that said they had to go fight, whether they wanted to or not.
Yep.
And I really utmost respect those guys. So many people they would never see their family members again.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Touching. And, Van, you will remember back when you and I, many, many moons ago, I remember when the CD came in, you and I sat down and looked at it. Mark Colley released a song called Another Old Soldier. Mm-hmm. And, boy, that song just really describes how life is.
Danny and I are sitting here as old soldiers.
Yeah. I remember getting one of those, or almost getting one of those draft notices. I had a draft number, but I went ahead and joined the Air Force before the Army came and got me.
And a lot of people did that. And I can remember people talking about draft boards.
Oh, yes.
Don't make somebody mad that was on the draft board because they'd get you.
Mm-hmm.
As the ranks are thinning out, we have to believe that some of this respect that is shown for the men and women who have gone before us, who have lost their lives, it seems to dwindle somewhat.
Yes.
It's just not there as it should be.
One of the things that I like to talk to folks about is if you had a grandfather or your dad or an uncle or someone that served in any of these wars, particularly the older gentlemen, sit and talk to them. Get the actual history of what went on and what they went through to kind of guide what you think about the military and what you might consider a career. Because sad as it is to say, not a lot of the patriotism is being taught in schools today.
That's true.
And you're hearing all this stuff about how bad military is and you really don't want to get it. That's not the case. I spent 38 years in the military, and I would go back in a heartbeat if I could.
Mm-hmm. My stepfather that had passed away years back, he was in the Vietnam War, and he was a Marine. And every year on the date of that day,
right,
he would just sit down and pull out all his old pictures and just cry. And it was like. Really, a couple of days he sat there. I mean, it just people don't know what they went through.
Oh, that's right.
And he never discussed it with us. We just knew it was a horrible thing that he went through. I mean, I do know that he had to go up in tunnels, and it was just horrible stuff.
Oh, wow.
He was a small guy, so they sent him into the tunnels and stuff. They said.
Candace, it might be somewhat trite, but for a lot of veterans, every day is Memorial Day.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That is.
Yep.
Another thing is, you go back to NAM, as that was brought up, these soldiers came home, and not a lot of them were greeted like they are today. They were spit on, things thrown at them. It wasn't their fault. They just did what Uncle Sam asked them to do.
All right.
I think that's left out of history a lot of times.
Yeah, well, media and things like that had a lot to do with it because it was one of the first wars that was actually televised live, and everybody got the wrong impression. I mean, as difficult as it is to say, they talked about killing babies and stuff like that, but when bombs were attached to these kids and they were sent in amongst the group of soldiers and it exploded, you tend to be a little cautious.
Yes, you do.
Right.
You tend to start looking things a little bit different.
Oh, you'd have to.
But there was a commercial several years ago that it was during the Gulf War, which every time I saw it, I cried. These soldiers were coming back home. They're walking through the airport, and everybody in the airport stood up and applauded as they walked through. And the Vietnam fellows never got that.
No, they did not.
But thank God the guys that came after them, maybe America learned a lesson and said, this is not how you treat heroes.
Right.
Bill Reinhardt said his dad turned 16 in a foxhole in World War II. There's a lot of that went on there.
Oh, yes.
We've
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. I mean, I didn't know. I was just going to say, I just think we take our freedom for granted every day. I mean, being able to do the things that we do and have the freedoms that we have, and people are overseas, I mean, every day fighting for us to keep those freedoms, and we take that for granted so much, and we don't show them the respect that a lot of us, don't show them the respect.
A lot of the things that a lot of people forget about are the families of these soldiers that are overseas. If it wasn't for support from them, it'd be real difficult for their loved ones overseas to do the job they're there to do.
That's true.
You've got to have support from the home front. But those people, moms and dads and brothers and sisters and wives, they're suffering right along with these guys because they're not there.
More coming up with Van and Danny as we talk about Memorial Day services that are right around the corner as we get ready for this. More on the way. Y'all stay with us. We'll be right back. If every time the wind blows you get a little leery about a tree over your house, talk to my friends at Reed Tree Service. There's no reason to be worried about a tree crashing through your house. Mike and Jake have years of experience of dealing with trees. It can be as simple as having a limb removed or a tree that is just huge too close to your shop or house. It's not going to cost you anything to have Mike come out and give you an estimate. They're licensed and insured, taking care of East Mississippi and West Alabama. Reed Tree Service. Have tree, we'll travel.
At the Back Porch, we're bringing families back together for fun, food, and all the things you love to enjoy around your home. Every event starts with a great grill, great cookware, and accessories. Add in some locally sourced meat and dairy, along with frozen vegetables and casseroles, and over 500 brands of spices and sauces. Relax in our chairs, swings, daybeds, and have fun with our cornhole boards. From coolers to trailers, we have everything you need. When you see the big chair, you've made it to the Back Porch.
Welcome back, Scotty Ray and Candace, on this gorgeous wet Wednesday. Can you put that all in one word?
I guess
I just did. All right. They've promised me that they've studied up and they're going to do good on this. As we change subjects for just a minute, we're going to come back and find out more about the events on the way. But what happened today? Let's go back in time. Does the name Claude Atkins mean anything to you? Claude Atkins, you remember that?
Yeah, he was an actor.
Yep, that was him. He was born on this day back in 26. He was in a lot of Westerns, and you'll remember him from being on BJ and the Bear also. Right. He was Sheriff Lobo, always after the bear, trying to pull him over. All he wanted to do was make a load. Thought y'all might want to know that. One of my all-time favorites, and Van, you'll remember back, I spent many a time after midnight listening to this old guy sing there. The year that Clayton Delaney died, quite many more. 1936, Tom T. Hall was born on this day.
Yep.
What do you rank as the best Tom T. Hall? Faster horses, younger women? Which one is it that grabs your fancy?
Oh, well, I think I Love would be hard to beat.
That I Love is a tough one to get
Yeah,
around.
it is. I love Little Baby Ducks.
He had his record edited. Remember, a lot of stations wouldn't play it because it had the line, I love grass.
Yeah.
I thought it was making a reference to Mary Jane. So
It had to go.
That's similar to the one that I think Johnny Cash was going to sing, that Chris Christopherson song.
Right. Sunday morning coming down.
And they told him that he couldn't sing it with the part in there. Said, God, I wished I was stoned.
Yeah.
And he did it anyway.
Because he was John R. Cash.
Yeah, he said, that's right. What are they going to do to me? I'm Johnny Cash.
I have to say, Tom T., of course he wrote That's How I Got to Memphis. He was a great songwriter. But the song that he wrote that always touched me, that when he sings it, I have this visual of it, Homecoming. And if you've never heard about that, it's about a guy that's gone off. He's a singer, and he's in honky-tonks playing, and he calls home to talk to his dad, and his mother's passed away. He missed the funeral, and it really paints a picture how you can lose touch with your family so quickly.
And all his stories and songs like Wolf Creek Pass.
Yes.
Ended up in front of the hardware store in downtown Pagosa Springs or something.
I haven't heard that in umpteen dozen years.
But, on the heels of Naomi, it's sad that Tom ended his life the way he did.
And I didn't know that for the longest, that he had taken his own life. It wasn't released there in the beginning.
No.
That is a big thing in the United States. Who remembers, I'm Not Lisa, there's somebody singing this right now. Yeah, we're talking Jesse Coulter.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Scotty Ray, you got...
Oh, I spelled it wrong.
You messed up Jesse?
Yes, I did. Jesse U. Jess. Let's put that back up there where you can read that. I didn't even catch it.
Jesse.
Oh, boy.
Guess who, Coulter?
It's going to be all right.
Guess who, Coulter's coming in the door?
My name's not Lisa.
My name is not Lisa.
Was it Kate? Did Katie Osland sing that also? Did she do a remake of that?
Not that I'm aware of.
Not that I don't think.
She was like a woman's lib type thing. She scared me.
I didn't know.
80s lady. She was burning bras, and I thought, ooh, stay away from me. Oh, 1963, Mike Myers. Anybody know that name?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was born.
Look at there.
You
He's a
almost
funny guy.
forget that he was Wayne's World.
Yeah.
He was born on this date also. A few other things. Shrek, the
Yeah.
voice. This was major in 1966, and it would be the only time that he won a Grammy. It's so... I can't fathom that this is the only thing that he ever won as a Grammy. And who am I talking? Elvis. He recorded that on this date way back when.
That was his only Grammy? Really?
Yep. How Great Thou Art. The album there. I didn't stand in line to do this, but I see people stand around and dress up like this, and I think, boy, that's kind of odd there. I'm glad I'm not you.
Yeah, they have like conventions where
Yeah.
people
Oh,
yeah.
dress
They do.
like
Star
this.
Wars, yeah.
Princess Leia.
Can you do your hair like that?
No, I don't have enough hair to do that. I used to.
Get you a couple of cinnamon rolls and
I
put them on your
know.
ears.
That's
Yeah.
about what they look
Yeah.
like.
I did.
I don't know, Danny, maybe you had a crush on Florence Henderson, but you would
remember
have to
Florence
watch a
Henderson.
rerun after today.
That's
yeah.
who I feel like with this flipping out hair.
Yeah.
Florence,
That's just, I keep saying
Mrs.
it like
Brady?
the Brady mama.
Mrs. Brady, yeah.
Yeah.
there she is. That ended today. That was the end. What was it, 77?
Yeah.
Gosh, that seems so long ago.
Yeah, that's
Scary.
Yeah, I used to watch that when I was little. But my husband and I, not long ago, we kept trying to think of the song. You know, we were trying to think of the words of the song. We ended up having to look it up, but you'd think we would have remembered that. But
1977, I would save my grass money and I would make it down to the Music Emporium. I remember it very well. With my $10 I saved and buy the big album to Smokey and the Bandit.
Yep.
It had the Bandit on it. Eastbound and Down. I saved my money and bought that.
I remember
Somewhere
when I was
that
going to high
still
school, we used to walk across the street over there and go to the Music Emporium.
is. Yeah.
You know, there's a line of Trans Am's headed east as we speak, recreating the Smokey and the Bandit run.
really,
Didn't know that.
my uncle used to have a car that looked just like that.
Yeah.
Gorgeous. Sometimes I look over at Candace and I want to call her Flo. I often want to.
Well, just
Whoa,
kiss
huh?
my grits, Scotty Ray.
It was this day that we would lose Vic Tayback. Who
Yeah.
remembers him?
Male.
Yep.
A great actor.
Yep.
They always had that little controversy back and forth there. On the cover of TV Guide, do y'all remember Heather? This
Heather.
was 96. It's been forever ago.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful woman. But 1996. There's a few other things that went, oh. We never saw. Did they ever show the neighbor's face at the end of the show on Tim the Tool Time?
I don't know if they ever did.
I don't think they ever did.
That would have been a great way to end the
Now,
show.
was his name Wilson? Did
Yes.
they call him Wilson?
Wilson. You got a neighbor that stares over the fence at you?
I hope not.
Okay. I'm just asking.
If I do, I don't know it.
I want to say, was this Hollywood Squares? Y'all correct me. If I went on the show, you got to pick who you wanted to play with, and I
Right.
don't think I would have chose Charles Nelson
Charles
Riley.
Nelson Riley, yeah.
He was different,
Yeah.
to say the least. What was that show? Was it?
It was Hollywood Squares.
It was.
Yeah.
George, do you remember that George Strait song?
Yeah.
I owe so much they ought to put me on Hollywood Squares.
They
George Strait.
everybody wanted Richard Dawson to answer the question.
Yeah, he was funny. And also on this date, believe it or not, it's been 2 years since this happened to America. George Floyd would lose his life on this day back in 2020.
That's a shame.
I didn't realize it had been that long. It seems like yesterday as we look at this. Boy, y'all done pretty good on this. Y'all are up on your history.
Yeah. Well, at some point in time, I feel like I'm part of most all of it nowadays. Listening to the granddaughters, anyway.
Yeah. And sometimes life, history passes you by if you're not careful. There's a few things that happen. I go, huh? Wait a minute, I didn't know about that.
Where was I?
Yeah, I learned always something new out there. Let's take a minute and talk about our friends over at Godwin. What did Godwin do? Well, they clean things, especially when you don't want to do it or you can't. They step in. They've got it here, Meridian. They've got so much to offer, from getting the swimming pools looking good. You ought to have yours clean, but if you let it get dirty again, talk to them. If you got a big building and you just happen to own something called Union Station, call them. You got a replica, they can clean it too. No matter how tall, they do it. A simple roof. Here's a look at that, of getting that tin roof looking great again. You can get your driveway, that old mildewy look, that'll be gone. They can do this a lot of times in a couple hours and be in and out. Cleaning windows. Yep. as we, you know, and I've always wondered, Reagan, why they didn't try to find a match to brick there every time I pass that.
Yeah, I was wondering. Goodness.
I've also wondered, it's not the people that have it now, it's just one of those things I ask. As we look at decks, boy, they'll do this for you, including your steps to make it to where if you leave this on there, it becomes slick when you get that little misty rain in the mornings and you'll slip and hurt yourself. Get it all cleaned up. Godwin will do that for you. They're great folks. They do fleet washing. They do billboards, anything that you're looking for.
Boats.
Boats?
They do boats.
And
That's
dirty
what he was
roofs.
telling us. Mm-hmm.
Yep. I don't know about washing babies or anything like that. I've talked to them. Godwin Cleaning Services. Talk to them today. I'm sure they can fix anything that you need right here in Meridian. If every time the wind blows you get a little leery about a tree over your house, talk to my friends at Reed Tree Service. There's no reason to be worried about a tree crashing through your house. Mike and Jake have years of experience of dealing with trees. It can be as simple as having a limb removed or a tree that is just huge too close to your shop or house. It's not going to cost you anything to have Mike come out and give you an estimate. They're licensed and insured, taking care of East Mississippi and West Alabama. Reed Tree Service. Have tree, will travel.
I've worked hard all my life, but I found out the hard way insurance companies can abandon their customers when they need them the most. So I called Richard Schwartz. I'm forever grateful I made that call.
I'm here for you. One call, that's all.
Welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace, and the unthinkable happened last night. There's a lot of folks that are in the political world going, oh no, she's headed back. Marjorie Greene Taylor won the GOP in Georgia. She's headed back right where she was. She'll face somebody on the Democratic side in November. We'll see how that turns out, but she got the ticket. Now, Trump did lose on his power to try to get rid of the governor of Georgia. It didn't work out. The guy that he backed did not win. So the remaining governor, who him and Trump don't get along, moves on. Herschel Walker won big in Georgia last night.
He did.
Herschel seems like a good guy.
Yeah, he does seem like a good guy. You know,
he played ball good. Let's hope he can do well. And every indication is he's going to do well. I think he may win that when it comes to November. Let's see what else happened there.
I'm thinking it's going to be a turnaround in a lot of places.
Like I said, the biggest we do, and the biggest loss, and it's not a loss to some degree, but Brian Kemp did keep his seat for the governorship there. Right. He will face off against Abrams in the election in the fall.
I just want, I don't care what party you're for. I just want whoever wants best for this country.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You know, not wants to run it in the ground. You know.
Yeah.
So, and our children. Best for our country and our children.
And as I said yesterday, I made a prediction. I feel pretty strong about this. He's a great guy, but great guys aren't great leaders always. And our two military men will tell you that. Some people are soldiers, some people are leaders. Mike Pence is a great soldier. He is not our leader. Trump makes the announcement. He ain't scared. Bring him on, he says. Let him run. He beat, 18 last time? We see that probably happen again. Pence is a wonderful man, a God-fearing man, but he is just not what America needs in the Republican side.
He's real soft-spoken. That's what I was going to say. You know,
and we certainly don't need Jeb. He thinks he can fix it, but he can't. It got so bad they even took away his last name. Jeb can fix it instead of Bush. Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
And George W., bless his heart, he ain't got over it yet. But we did find out about this. I respect him because he was our president. He done the best he could. We found out that ISIS had a plot to kill George W. recently. Did you hear about this?
No, I did.
It did.
Not.
It broke. It was a plot. Fox News reported this yesterday. He's okay. They've arrested a bad guy.
Oh, they wanted to kill him like lately, not when he was in office.
Yeah, this has been in the last week or two. They brought some cuffs and going to take somebody off. And then as we look at political leaders, as they've let everybody that was bad out of how do you say it, Guantanamo Bay? Did I say that correctly?
Guantanamo Bay.
Let me cut back over here to these guys that know that. How do you say it?
Guantanamo.
There you go. I said it wrong.
What's even more scary is all the people that they've let into this country without fully vetting them. To know if they're even affiliated with this ISIS.
Yeah, and I'll word it this way. It's like having a party at your house and your mom and dad are out of town and word spreads. And you don't ask, who are you, when they open the door.
Right.
Somebody's going to break something.
Well, and when you have so many, like they're talking about fixing to flood into the country, more flood into the country. When you have so many coming at one time, I mean, it's hard to check everybody out, I guess.
Oh, so they're not checking anybody is what that means.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, we got some more controversy within the Republican Party. What do we see? The folks that are called the Ronald Reagan campaign, they're going to back Ron DeSantis, and they're urging him to run.
For president.
You're right, yeah. And
I think he would be a good one. I do.
And most are saying they would rather he be vice president
first,
and then move on to become president. We'll watch and see if that actually happens. We don't know.
That'd be a pretty good choice.
It would be.
Think it would
he seems like a level-headed guy.
Well, I like the fact that he sticks to what he says and he stands for what he believes and he doesn't back down from it. I like that because I think there's too much flip-flopping going on. You know, when somebody says, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that, and they get a little pressure on them and they, ease off of it and kind of go in the other direction. I don't like that.
No, I agree.
So,
all right, now, next subject, and y'all can turn your head if you want to. This is a sticky subject. There's no other way for me to word this. As news breaks of this, we've heard about this in the Catholic churches for years, where the Southern Baptists are admitting we've got a problem now. And what am I talking about? Sexual abuse by pastors. And there is a list. And they're saying that they're going to release these names from the Southern Baptists of payoffs that they've had to make through the years. And he goes on deeper to say that people that knew it, they really weren't reprimanded. They were still left in power even after payoffs were made. This is going to get nasty before it's all said and done. So look for this coming to a headline near you over the next few weeks. And no other way to shape that. We look at this. Meghan, what's her name? Meghan Markle? I don't know what everybody thinks of her, but her daddy, who's been they've argued back and forth in the media, has had a stroke. Pretty major one. Wow. And they had actually invited him over to come visit with the Queen and hang out and let him go play soccer or something together.
With the Queen.
Well, I don't know what she was going to do with him, but I'm sure he'd want to have a Budweiser with her or something.
That'd probably be worth watching, him and a stroke and her in the 80s. That'd be an interesting soccer game.
So the I guess the Royals invited him.
Yeah,
or
he was going to
Meghan
actually.
Markle?
Meghan invited him over, but he was going to get to meet the Queen and do. He's never been over there.
Okay.
And he was set to fly out to go, and now he's had a stroke and he's in the hospital, so he won't get to go.
Gosh, I thought Meghan and the Queen and them didn't get along anymore.
Not well. No.
He'd have got over there though. He'd been up in the palace.
Yeah, he probably would have.
That'd be pretty neat to go visit.
Yeah, that would be neat.
I would demand to be knighted while I was there. I think that'd be pretty cool. And I could tell what's his name that I am too.
I don't know if I'd want an 80-something-year-old woman swinging a sword at my head.
I didn't think about that.
Isn't she like
I'll probably
90?
pass on that one.
She's in her 90s.
Because you get it on the shoulders, don't you? Get it on the shoulder, or each shoulder.
Yeah, that'd be bad.
Can you imagine if she sneezed just about the time she put it?
I like your sense of humor. I like that. That could happen. But we wish him a recovery there. Him and his daughter have had some ups and downs, and you hate for family to go through things like this. Let's see here. This is horrible as we talk about military, of anything that could just go on like this. Fort Hood is where we go. There's been a lot of deaths there. We get the news on this yesterday that a soldier was murdered, and she was killed by a fellow soldier. Why? Because she happened to see his screen on his phone that had his girlfriend instead of his wife, and he felt threatened and killed her over it. Now, how awful is that?
Yeah.
That's
you touched on it a while ago. The people don't have the mores or the upbringing to be considered anything wrong. I don't like you, I'm gonna kill you. Yeah.
Oh, we find out the Queen is 96.
That's what I thought. She's in her 90s. They're fixing to have some kind of a royal jubilee type thing.
I think he was going to get to go to that.
Yeah, that celebrates that. But now I thought that I heard that Prince Harry and Meghan were not invited to that. But now
maybe not.
I don't know.
I also heard the Queen dipped Copenhagen, but I'm not sure that's true either.
Goodness.
Just rumors. I'm just trying to straighten it all out there. I do want to mention something on a sad note, and I want to be honest about this. Y'all all know that I deal daily with police and things that go on, and I track down when I hear something has happened. I call the police and find it out. And I say this to check on people that you love. I got one time someone passed away in Meridian. I was told it was natural causes, and it turned out not to be. So anytime that I find out that there is a death, I investigate. I make sure that it was a natural cause thing. The last two that have happened in Meridian hit pretty close to home. And I say this for you to check on people that are kin to you that you love. My wife's uncle was one of the ones that passed away, and they found him 4 or 5 days later, deceased in his home. Sunday night, I got word that someone had passed away, and I called police, and I checked, and they go, it's just natural causes. There was no foul play. And it turned out to be my first cousin. I found out the following morning. Died alone. Horrible, horrible. I feel bad.
Yeah.
Just check on your loved ones is what I'm saying. People that you think that you're going to call, and you put off. Check on them. How horrible that is. And I'm not. I'm the next in line, and I'm doing my best to try to plan a funeral. I don't know how to do things like that, but I am trying. And I pass along condolences. It's just sad. Check on your people.
Right.
And I'm not trying to depress people, although it is a depressing subject. Just check on people.
Well, one of the good things along that line is this little necklace people can wear, First Alert.
Yes.
A
Those are a
lot
good
of
thing.
people need that.
My grandmother had one of those. Those are good.
Needs one.
I think you can either wear the necklace or they have even a bracelet, that you can put on.
I hear your husband's
but,
got
yeah.
that. When he wants tea, he pushes the button and you come running.
Try that one.
I do,
You have to really look at the bright, shining silver lining of anything. You can use those for multiple
if
purposes.
Kurt's watching, he's probably laughing right now, going, "Yeah, right." No, I do.
Scotty Ray and Candace, y'all stay close. We'll be right back.
H&H Residential of Meridian is your #1 carpet and flooring store. If you've been thinking of a new look for your home or office, call for a free estimate or consultation. H&H can install or you can do it yourself. H&H has all of your design needs from color, style, and texture. If you can dream it, H&H can make it a reality. Come see the large selection of hardwood flooring, laminate, vinyl, and even carpet. H&H Residential of Meridian, open Monday through Friday, 9 to 4, 321 Hawkins Crossing Road. Call Rosemary anytime, 601-462-9541.
These days, everyone calls me Grandpa, even my son. I couldn't imagine missing out on watching these kids grow up. It's the greatest joy in my life. It was a Saturday after my granddaughter's 4th birthday party when a semi-truck hit me. I had to survive. I promised the little girl I was going to read her a story the next time I saw her. My son called Richard Schwartz. He helped me every step of the way and got me the money we deserve.
Remember, I'm your Mississippi attorney, Richard Schwartz. I'm here for you. One call, that's all.
Well, the flowers are getting taken care of down at the Lauderdale County Farm Supply today. A natural rain shower there. They're getting watered.
Right, they're loving it.
Yes, going down. You could even go fishing in the parking lot if you like. Try out your new reel.
Yeah.
Got a lot of bait there. If you need anything there, whether it's a lure, if you need a worm, they've got it for you, including pine straw for your plants. Make that all look good around the front of your house. You can even get sod in those bare places where grass won't grow. Warning, you got to water this now.
You do.
It comes with that. It's on the underside of each one of those. Please water daily. We also got lots that you can find there in the flower shop.
Yeah,
just gorgeous.
Succulents, if I'm not. That's what those are called.
I've never used that word that way, Candace.
That's what they're called.
Wow. As we got beautiful flowers there, as I said, they really love the water. They're getting it today. If you need a T-shirt, you need a shirt to keep cool this summer, there for you. And, of course, that patio furniture. Wow, looks comfortable. Yeah. Get you some. Even I think that's a little cow. They had some piggies last year.
Yeah, a lot of people are wanting to bring the indoors out and make it, a living space outside. Right. They can help you with
tell your wife how she looks in that dress, and you'll find out how that works out. See them. We got ball caps and a whole lot more, including shoes, boots. Look at there, comfortable to work in, and also anything for your pet, along with corn, cattle. Look, here we even got guns and ammo. The Lauderdale County Farm Supply, it is exit 151 off the interstate. Visit with them today. Our special guests have been busy on their side of the room this morning trying to keep track of us.
Enjoying the program.
Let's talk again about what we've got, because we really want a big turnout for this. Our service, it kicks off, is this Monday morning?
Monday morning, 10 o'clock sharp.
And we're going to have city officials come out with this also.
Usually the officials that are there are recognized, city and county. Speaking of which, we couldn't do this. Danny's committee couldn't do it without the help of the city and the county.
Amen.
City there bright and early. The Parks and Rec guys on their holiday off coming in to set up the chairs, 250 chairs with backs for people to sit up close. Of course, anytime you do something in the city, it requires a permit. And
I forgot about that.
Yeah, we got the streets closed. The Meridian Fire Department always gracious to bring the big ladder truck down and unfold the stars and stripes for us there to add to the ambience. Of course, Lauderdale County providing a lot of financial support to the committee for our efforts, not only for the Memorial Day, but for the Veterans Day that happens in November. And we've got Marty McCann, a Vietnam veteran, bringing his PV-powered sound system down to make sure
that it works and everybody can hear it.
Everybody can hear it.
Right.
Yes, indeed. So,
do we have and I'm going to ask something, and I guess I should have asked you this before we went live, but I'll just go ahead. Is there a flyover involved in this? Do we have one of those with this?
It is not scheduled for Memorial Day.
No, that's usually better.
It's
so if you happen on your own airplane or flying by, come by and help us out.
Yeah, you could do that.
Those
so
are
many drones over Lauderdale County now. Maybe we could have a drone parade to open it up. But again, as we mentioned earlier, this will be the first year for us to have it at the newly renovated plaza there with the flagpole and the benches and the memorial in a oblique type arrangement there.
And that is a beautiful
so kind of bear
flag.
with us as the names are called. Folks are invited to come up and place a poppy there at the base of the monument.
Yeah.
So
we will have poppies available if they'd like to come by and, like Van said, pick them up. And if they have a family member on the wall, they're more than welcome.
And Candace, that should be required reading for everyone for Memorial Day, the poem In Flanders Fields, of course.
Yes, absolutely.
Where the poppies blow.
Yes.
Between the crosses, row on row, that mark our place, and in the sky, the lark still bravely singing fly. We are the dead. Short days ago we lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow. Now we lie in Flanders Field.
Wow.
Take up the cross with the foe. To you from failing hands we throw. The torch be yours to hold it high.
Yeah.
If ye break faith with us who die, we shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders Fields.
Great memory.
That's very good.
You've done a fantastic job with that, Van Mack.
Yes, you did.
He should have been in radio.
He should have. I don't know what happened. I still remember the picture of every time I think of Van Mack, Ray Stadium. The picture they took of you standing on the stage it may have been George Strait when George was in town. I remember seeing that picture of you making the announcements of George being here.
That was probably the last Jimmy Rogers outside show at Ray Stadium, right?
I believe so.
Probably was.
What we had Lionel Cartwright. He was the opening act. And I almost wanted Velvet Chains guy. Velvet Chains,
Gary Morris.
Was Gary there that day? Or was that another one before that?
I think that was another one.
But that was
they
the last.
all run together, Scotty Ray.
We've
nowadays.
You and I have been to many of them, haven't we?
Absolutely.
Look, I wanted to share this too before we get off the air.
Okay.
If you've ever gone to the Veterans Cemetery, which we do pretty often, we'll go out there because that's where my father-in-law is buried. If you ever see a coin on top of the tombstones, I want to let you know what it means, because sometimes you'll see quarters or dimes or pennies or nickels.
Yeah, they told us we couldn't go back to the mall no more.
That's right. A penny means that you just visited. A nickel, if you see that, it means that you and the deceased veteran trained at boot camp together. If you see a dime, it means that you and the deceased veteran served together in some capacity. And if you see a quarter, it's very significant because it means that you and the person that is buried there, you were there when they passed away. So I just wanted to pass that along because we didn't know. I didn't know exactly what the coins meant.
Is that widely done? Is that
I mean, you'll see coins a lot. You'll see coins a lot on top of them.
Oh.
So just if you do, you can look that up also too, so you'll know if you go out there and visit. But it's just breathtaking when you go out there to see how many people have served this country and lost their lives, and you just feel just so much respect for them when you go out there.
Again, the service is coming up on Monday morning. It will be at 10 a.m. We invite you by. It's going to be a lot of fun to be there and respect those who gave their all for our country. I'll come out. I'll be there, and I hope you will join me as well. Thank y'all for coming in and staying with us a little while.
Appreciate you, sir. Thank you for having us.
Van Mack, you got a hello there from Jan Bushman. She wanted to say hello to you, your stage wife.
Yes.
Been in a few plays together there. We're coming back tomorrow morning. Tomorrow will be Thursday. We'll have more information about what goes on in our community because it matters to you.
Yes, it does. But say a prayer for all the veterans and their families. Amen. Say a prayer for our community and be a blessing to someone else today. And I hope you have a safe and happy day.
Be back tomorrow morning, beginning at 8. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners: